2026. Y'all notice the agenda is very brief here.
Lucas said to tell y'all he's been thrown out of bed.
All right,
Y'all have a good evening.
thank you. Only have three things on our agenda today, just to kind of to move us along. Want to get things organized for this session. This is really just kind of an organizational meeting. First thing is we need to review and approve the minutes from the last meeting. That was on December 17th. Just take a moment and review that if you don't mind.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
concerned about the
Really need one more member here to have a quorum to approve these. I'm kind of stalling to hope we get somebody else here. Do y'all know if we're going to have anybody? I know that Dolezal and Gooch are not coming. If you heard from Kim Jackson, Mr. Leader? Okay. All right, well, we'll hold off on taking action on these until we do have a little more clarity there. One thing I was hoping to do is just kind of review where we've been. This committee's now been in operation for 3 years, and we started with a pretty specific direction to look into the activities of the Fulton County DA's office as far as certain conduct and behavior there, and with the idea that our job would be to examine some of those allegations that had been coming out of the court system in Fulton County, and then determine whether there was additional amendments or new legislation to sort of restore public confidence in the impartiality and fairness of our judicial system. Our sort of charge expanded last year as we passed a new resolution that called upon us to also look into some of the activities of campaign finance violations by a variety of organizations, many of whom were associated with Stacey Abrams, and we have had some testimony here from the Ethics Commission to review those charges, and we expect to have more. But as we're starting this session, I wanted to kind of focus us and try to conclude our activity while we're in legislative session. Interestingly, quite a few people on this committee are running for statewide office, and I know the realities of when we finish up on April the 2nd, there are going to be people spreading all over the state campaigning and fundraising, and probably be difficult to schedule meetings between April and May 19th. So my goal is to try to expedite the activities of this committee so we can complete any investigation we want to do, have any other witnesses that we want to call to testify here before the committee in an expedited fashion. I do not need committee action to do this, but what I want to do is create a subcommittee, and I'm going to name Senator Dolezal as chairman. I will serve on it. I would like for you to, Mr. Leader, Senator Jones, and Senator Hatchett, if you would be willing. The 5 of us will serve on that subcommittee that will be able to be meeting at the same time we are as a main committee. Basically, sort of divide up some of the fact-finding. Senator Jones, you and I will serve on both the main committee, which will be acting independently, and that subcommittee, so you'll be in the loop on everything. Really, everybody here will be, because the full committee will continue to have hearings, but then the subcommittee may as well.
Did you say 5 members on this?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 4 or 5?
It is.
4 names.
It's okay, but it's Hatchett, Jones, Cowsert, Dolezal. Yeah, that is 4 names. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm not a math major. So that committee will begin work shortly. What I'm hoping for us to do is have either the subcommittee or the full committee meet, if not every week, at least every other week from here through we complete our job. I have noticed on the schedule that Fridays are very conducive. Because the secretary can verify, we don't have standing committees scheduled for Fridays. And we are in session a lot of those Fridays, so hopefully we could have some meetings right after we adjourn. And then there's some Fridays where we're off. that'll make it convenient for us. I mean, unless you want to go back working, at least you won't have conflicts legislatively. We can do that. And so that's what I wanted to formally appoint that subcommittee. If everybody's willing to serve, I'll advise Chairman Dolezal and let him go ahead and start arranging testimony. There's a couple of witnesses he plans to call. He would like to call Nathan Wade to testify, and I can't remember his first name, but DeSantis, who works with Fonnie Willis. And I've told him just to go ahead, start trying to schedule that. We'll coordinate with him. And then the main committee, we still have not heard from Stacey Abrams or anybody associated with the organizations that we heard the Ethics Committee chairman discuss campaign finance violations. And I have not reached out yet, but I would like to try to get Pete Skandalakis to come testify, who is Prosecuting Attorney's Counsel Executive Director, who had a lot of personal review of the prosecutions that Fonnie Willis conducted and later ultimately decided not to proceed with those. I want him to explain to us that process, and I'm also interested in his viewpoints on what is or is not appropriate prosecutorial misconduct, what would justify removing a prosecutor from a case, et cetera. So that's where I'm headed in my head on this. That's where I expect our investigation to go. I also wanted to invite members of the committee to make other suggestions to me as to who you want to hear from to do our job to pass any needed legislation to restore that confidence in our judicial system and campaign finance system in Georgia. And you don't have to tell me right now, but if you would just communicate that to me if you think of anybody you want to hear, maybe some sort of counterpoint. If there's other sides to the story you don't feel like we've done our full job hearing, I want this to be open and thorough, and I want us to speed the process along a little bit. There have been numerous delays as we've been struggling trying to get witnesses to honor subpoenas and tied up in court, et cetera. Feels like we're kind of got most of those bumps in the road behind us now, and that's where we'll be going. Since we don't have a quorum here to take any action, there's really no reason to belabor this meeting, but I wanted to I was thought about going back and sort of reviewing some of the testimony we've had. I'll just plan to do that at the beginning of our next meeting. I am angling towards next Friday, so try to hold that on your calendars. And I don't have that, I guess that, what is that, February 6th page? That's when I want to have our next meeting if possible. But we'll let you know in plenty of time. I always try to give us, this committee, about a week's notice so that we can be prepared and get our schedules clear to be here. Any other questions from me or comments from committee members?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, right. Okay.
For some reason, I thought with all y'all running for a statewide office that this would be an easy session, but you have now
Oh, it's
disabused
going
me
to
of
be
that
easy.
notion.
It's going to be easy and swift. We're going to
Yeah,
get it
right.
on. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're adjourned.